Yes, once again, good afternoon to all of you. In today's class, we are going to see the concept of access modifiers. Access modifiers. So, what do you mean by access modifiers? See, the name contains two words. One is access word, another one is a modifier word. Modifier means modifying. You have to understood every word. Modifier means modifying. Accessing means accessibility. Accessibility. Modifying the accessibility of something, we can call it as access modifiers. I mean, if we go for a textbook definition or some other definition, we can say that these access modifiers will restrict the the accessibility of a class or a constructor or a data member or a method. These access modifiers will modify the accessibility of a class, a constructor, data member, and a method. Right now, you don't know the word constructor, I am assuming. Okay, this you can understood later. Okay, now, fine. So, with the help of these access modifiers, we can able to set accessibility to various kind of classes, constructors, data members, and methods. Generally, guys, in Java, in Java, we have the concept of modifiers. There are so many modifiers are there. Like, I will write a few only. One is public, you know it already. Private, protected is also one kind of modifier, and default is also one kind of modifier, and final is also a modifier, abstract is also a modifier, and some other like static is also a modifier, synchronized is a modifier, something like native modifier, and something like transient is a modifier, volatile is a modifier, etc. Like this, we'll have various kind of modifiers are there in Java. Modifiers are there in Java. Okay, among these, the first four are called as access modifiers. Access modifiers, because these modifiers are going to set the accessibility for class, constructor, data member, or a method, and all the remaining, we can consider as non-access modifiers. We can consider as non-access modifiers. Why we are calling it as non-access modifiers means these modifiers are used to set special properties to the everyone, like various kind of things like data member, method, etc. For all these access modifiers, these non-access modifiers are going to set special properties. Special properties. I hope you know somewhat, you know basic meaning of final keyword. What's the property it is going to say? Once we make a data member as final, a data member as final, we can't change its value. We can't change its value. Okay, see, these non-access modifiers will explain one by one wherever I require me. For example, let me take final, right? So final non-access modifier, I can able to use at various levels. One is at data member level, another is at method level, another is at class level. We can use. If we use the final keyword for the data member, then we can't change its value. We can't change its value. You know already, right? Constants. How we are going to represent constants in Java? Through the keyword of final. Through the keyword of final. If you make a method as final, then what is the meaning of this one? That method is final too. That method is common to all the people. Means we cannot able to override that method. This I have explained while explaining the methods of various kind of methods. Override. Coming to class, if you make a class as final, then we can't inherit that class. Can't inherit that class. Like this, we'll have various kind of special properties that we are going to provide for data members or methods to the concept of non-access modifiers. Non-access modifier. Okay, for this session, let us restrict it to only the access modifiers. See guys, just make observe the difference. These will specify the accessibility mechanism. Access modifiers will make accessibility mechanism. Final is a non-access modifier which is going to define what? The property. What is the property? We can't change its value. We can access this final based upon the type of access modifier you have used, but we can't change its value. Similarly, if you say that a method is final based upon the type of access modifier you have specified, those rules it will apply. Along with that, we can access, but we cannot override. But we cannot override. Like this, we'll have special properties for all these. Okay, now, fine. Let us discuss about various kind of access modifiers. See, let me give some description here. I think you heard about the concept of access specifiers. Access specifiers and access modifiers. In Java, we will call it as access modifiers. In C language and C++, we are calling it as access specifiers. Sorry, in C++, we are calling it as access specifier. That's it. See, why I am saying that these are access modifiers means, I will show example because some people will call it as access specifiers also, no problem. But coming to Java, we have to call it as access modifier because, see, whenever I write some kind of code, like let me write one few, like I hope you understood this one. Private class, private class, and then I have written some kind of data members, and then I have written some kind of methods. Then some kind of methods. Then what will happen means, if you are trying to compile this one, you will get a compile time error. A compile time error. What kind of error it is going to produce means, it will show that modifier private is not allowed here. It will show private, sorry, it will allow modifier private is not allowed here. With this statement, we can say that this is a modifier, not a specifier in Java language. Java. That is why we are calling it as access modifiers. Whereas coming to C++, we will call it as only access specifiers. Okay, what are the various kind of specifiers are there in C++? We will have public access specifier is there, we'll have protected access specifier is there. Protected is there. Somebody has messaged. Public, protected, and private. Private. What is the default access modifier here? The default access modifier is private. The default access modifier is private. Okay, so you know this one. So let me go for Java language modifiers. So Java language access modifiers, if we go in depth, first one is, let me take the private. So once we define private keyword for a class, private is a keyword for a class or for a method or for a data member or for a constructor, then we can access that kind of data member is within the class only. We can access it with respect to within the class only. I mean, see, generally, what is the syntax of access modifiers means? The general syntax is you have to write access modifier followed by, if it is a variable, we have to write a variable. If it is a method, we have to write a method. If it is a class, we have to write a class. If it is a constructor, we have to write a constructor. We write a constructor, right? So, meaning that, let me have some class A, and I'm going to write like int some j, If I made this as private, how we are going to write private space, I mean access modifier space variable declaration in j. So the meaning of this one is j is an integer variable whose access modifier is private. The meaning of this one is we can't able to access this modifier outside of this class. Okay, can we access with respect to an object? No. If you want to use, you can use only within the block, but outside of the block is not allowed. That is the meaning of private. Okay, fine. Next, take second one. Default. I'm come up with the accessibility, like I'm going from top to bottom. Top is more restrictive. If you go down, it is less restrictive. If I'm saying that default is not keyword. First important point. You may get confused, right? So this is not a keyword. If we didn't write anything, before a variable, it will simply assume that it is the accessibility of that variable or that method is default. I mean, so whenever we didn't declare any variable as default, what will happen is that variable or method can be accessed anywhere within the package. Can be accessed anywhere within the package. What about this one, private? If you made any variable or a method as private, we can access within the class. Okay, fine. Right now I am understanding that you don't know the meaning of package. Okay, let me first clarify what do you mean by package. Package is simply, we can call it as a header file. package, or it is a location where we'll have bunch of files are there. Bunch of files are there. Let me have a folder like, okay, fine. Let me take one folder. That folder is a folder. A folder. And there is one folder. Another folder is B folder. See, when time comes, I will definitely show you with an example. But right now, we don't need that thing. Okay, fine. See, so A is one folder. One folder means A package is there. This is B package. B package. Okay. So what where we are? Yes. So we are going to access within the package. See, guys, in a package, we can define multiple classes. Let me take class CSC. Let me take class CSC. And let me take another class ECE. Let me take another class uh, mechanical. See, as I'm writing small letters, you have to write in cap letters only. Okay, now I have like A is a package. I mean, in the A folder, we have three classes. One is a csc.java file is there, and ec.java file is there, and mechanical.java file is there. In B package, we'll have, let us assume that two classes. Class, let me write civil. And there is one more package, class chemical. Class chemical. Yes. Guys, uh, whenever I have defined, see, whenever I have defined a particular variable as default, int something like C, what will happen? This particular C variable is an integer variable, which is what? If I didn't mention anything, that is simply called as default. That is where we can access within the package anywhere. We can access within the package anywhere. So if I want to access this within the package, how I am going to access here? How I am going to access means if you want to access a particular member of a class and outside of another class, then how you are going to write? You are going to create an object. You are going to create an object CSC some e equal to, or some object, right? Understood? Some object equal to new CSC. Then how can I access? I can access object dot, let me write here one more, object.c. Here I will write one more one, private int c1. This is c2. Right? Let me write private int c1. Here if I am able to access object c1, what will happen? Here it won't access. C1 is I won't access because it is the accessibility of int data type. I mean private modifier is within the class only. Means if at any time if you want to access C1 in this particular CSC class, you can access. But outside of this class, we can't access. Sir, can we access here? If I am writing like object1.c1, can we access? No, it is not possible. Can we access object? Why I am writing here one? Object.c1. Can I access C2? Can anybody answer? Here I can access C2 because it is a default. Default can access within the package anywhere. So this is also Anybody answer? Yes. We can access more. Very good. So you know already in C++, right? So object.c2 also I can access. Suppose for example, sir, I want to access the C2 variable outside of this package. Outside of this, because meaning that in B package I have two classes. One is civil.java class is there. Sorry, civil.java file is there, and chemical.java file is there. Here, if I am writing, I mean, I have created an object. Let me take obj. If I am writing like object.c1, will it be accessible? No, it is not possible. If I am writing like obj.c2, obj.c2, will it be accessible? No, because this C2 is a variable which is declared as here default inside of another package, but we are trying to access it the outside another package, so it is not possible. Similarly here, object.c1 not possible, object.c2 also not possible, object.c2 also not possible. Let me write. So I hope you understood this one. Within the package only you can access. Let me take the another one, protected. Protected. So protected is a keyword. It is a keyword. It is a keyword. So the advantage of this one is we can able to access within the package, within the package, and also outside of another package, another package with a condition, that it should be subclass. It should be subclass. Protected means we can able to see private. We can access only within the class. From access modifier to access modifier, scope is increasing. This is within the class. This is within the package. This is within the package, and also outside of the another package, and that should be a subclass. Outside of another package, class should be a subclass. Then only you can access. See, I will explain here. I have written here like protected int C3. Protected int C3. Now I am writing first object dot C3, object dot C3, object dot C3, object dot C3. Guys, see, observe. First, you have to understand the meaning of a subclass. You have to understand the meaning of subclass. See, subclass you can understood, subclass or child class you can understood, right? With the help of the concept inheritance. For time being, try to understood with the help of the keyword extends keyword. If a class contains the keyword, if a class is extended with the keyword extends, then that class we call it as a subclass or child class, and the class which is from the class which we have inherited, we call it as parent class, or we can call it as superclass, or we call it as a superclass. For example, here I have written extends CSC, because CSC is everywhere, right? The properties of CSV is applicable to mechanic also. For example, let us assume that the properties of CSC wants to apply to the chemical, wants to apply to the chemical. Now tell me, if I write object.c3, can I access C3 in this class or not? Can you write the answers for this one? For 1 word, for 2 word, for 3, for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Accessibility, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Can I answer? What number? I have given numbering right there. You have to give with the numbering. 4, yes, sir. Srilakshmi. Yes, okay, very good. And for 3 and 4, no. Devaki, you made a mistake. Bhargavi and some people. 2, 4, yes, and 1, 3, no. Bhargavi from A section. No, ma, you have made it wrong. Okay, let me explain. See, what I explained here, uh, protected variable, protected variable, you can access within the package, within the package, whether whether that class can be a subclass or not, subclass or not, irrespective of that, that particular variable can be accessed. With this statement, I can say that this is a normal class, I can access. This is a subclass, even that is a subclass, but it is within the package I can access. But I can access. What about this one? If I am going to access that particular data member outside of the package, then that particular data member should be is within the package only, within the subclass. Meaning that, see, this is outside the package, but I am accessing protected variable. Is it a subclass? No. So it is not possible to access. What about this one? Yes, I am accessing C3 data member outside of the package, but it is a subclass of parent class. Right? CSC is a parent class and chemical is a subclass. So here it can access. Here also it can access. I hope you understood clearly. Okay, now. Next one, public. Public is simple. Fourth one, public. Public is a keyword. We are all public, right? Means we have freedom, we have right to roam around the campus, or we have right to roam around the world, right? Similarly, the meaning of public is it can be accessed anywhere in the application. If you defined anything as public, we can access that one anywhere in the application. Anywhere in the application. Okay. So for that we can write an example like protected int L public int f. Okay. So this is a protected variable and this is a private, protected and public. Okay. So let me give an example. Now you have to give the answers. Public int c4 object dot c4 object dot c4 object dot c4 object dot c4. Now tell me the answers. For what number in here can be accessed and for what it won't access. Likita 1 to 4 is okay. What about third one? Devaki, very good one. Everything it can be accessed. Okay, I mean, as I have declared this as public, see, this is an entire application. Assume, okay, this is one entire application. And I mean, let's assume that is a kind of software. This software in a multiple package development. Prati package lo kuda multiple package, prati software lo multiple packages ఉంటుంది. So, public I have defined, right? So, entire software application lo ekkadaina use chesukochu variable. C4 I can use normal class. C4 I can use within the package, subclass also. C4 I can use outside of the package for any class. C4 I can access outside of the package and also for subclasses. So this is all about various kind of access modifiers. I hope you understood clearly. See, let me have a small example or else For understandability, I am taking something. There is a home. There is a home, and those the people want to go to some restaurant. They want to go to some restaurant. With this example, you can easily remember everything. They want to go to some restaurant, and guys, I don't know exactly the diagram, but assume that this is a home. Okay. Now, what we'll do is, while going to the restaurant, we are going to make it some kind of lock here. Some kind of lock. Now, this lock, assume that it is a digital lock. It is a digital lock. It is a digital lock. And they locked it and they are going for restaurant. They locked it and they are going for restaurant. If that lock, if that lock is known to only the owner of the house. If the clock is known to only the owner of the house, we can call it as private. Means in the family, nobody know the digital lock. Nobody know the lock except the owner. If they want to enter into the home, they have to compulsory opened by the only owner. That means this is private. Nobody knows it. Nobody knows the lock except the owner. Nobody knows the lock except owner. Then we can call it as private. Okay. Like let me have something like owner. Suppose for example, owner suddenly ఎక్కడైనా బయటికి వెళ్తున్నారు. అప్పుడు what he can do? These family members won't able to reside outside of the home, right? So for that, what the owner can do? He can share that key with the family persons. He can share that key with the family person. Then we can say that it is default. Means those family members can only know. Those family members can only know. Then we can call it as default keyword. Family members will only know. For example, they are in restaurant. Meanwhile, they are in restaurant. Meanwhile, the relatives of these people. Meanwhile, the relatives of these people are there in front of their home. Are there in front of their home. Can these people have to wait outside until these people come? No, we should not do like that. So then what this owner will do? Owner will be share his or her key to the people who are residing outside of the home. Outside of the home means they are only relatives. They are only relatives. So if we give the keys to relatives, then we can say that it is a keyword, protected keyword. We will give it to the relatives only, because these are all related to these people. That is why we can say that it is a protected. And for example, let this owner have shared this key over a Facebook or some other way, so that everyone will can enter. So that everyone will enter. Like that person can be from America, that person can be from India, that person can be from RGKT. Anybody can access if they know that key. So that is why we can call it as public. Anybody can access. So with respect to this example, if we simulate it to the previous concept, so first one is within the class. Within the class. Here within the class is what? Only owner. Owner is within the class. Family. Family means within the package. Within the package. And protected means 1 minute class irukum phone switch off ban cheyatla phone ఉన్నాను ఇక్కడ మళ్ళీ లేదు ఓకే అమ్మా సారీ సో ఫ్యామిలీ ఈస్ విత్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్యామిలీ వీ కెన్ షేర్ ద కీ సో దట్ ఈస్ విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్యాకేజ్ రిలేటివ్స్ అంటే ఎవరు ఆ రిలేటివ్స్ ఆ ఊర్లో ఉండొచ్చు లేదా అవుట్ సైడ్ ఊర్లో కూడా ఉండొచ్చు అంటే ఆ ఊర్లో ఉన్న రిలేటివ్స్ కానీ ఇవ్వచ్చు విత్ ఇన్ ద ప్యాకేజ్ అని ఇవ్వచ్చు ఆర్ those relatives can be outside of the village but they should have some relation that means outside the village village means I can say it is a package outside the package but those should be related to that family that is parent class ki sub class ki relation undali what about Facebook they won't bother about whether whom are there it can be anyone that is public so if you correlate this one with this example you can easily understand the concept of packages else any doubts here any doubts up to here no Sunil is very fast yes yes ma'am so this is what all about access modifiers if we simply generalize we can draw something like see this one I will explain one second so let I'm writing right like inside the class same package class same package subclass other package class subclass other package subclass see I have given these 5 examples here itself this is what within the class this is within the package and within the package and the some class this is within the package but a subclass this is outside the package normal class this is outside the package a subclass right yes so in the particular class CSC can I able to access right C1 variable C2 variable C3 variable C4 variable or not yes within the package CSC I can able to access every variable let me write here if I am taking like private keyword if I am taking default protected and public if I am mentioning a data member or a method as private can we able to access within the class or not yes can we access in the same package of another same package class no same package subclass no other package class no other package subclass no if it is a default we can access inside the class see inside the class anything we can access directly we can write if it is in the same package of the class yes so same package subclass default can we access yes other package class no same package class yes same package subclass protected can access public can access see public can access everywhere right yes protected other package subclass other package class can anybody fill these two gaps what is first one what is second one this one and this one S and S no yes or S no and yes they have a key have replied yes very good ma so here Other package class. Protected won't access in other package class, but protected can access other package subclass. So this is a table, simple table for to clear understood the concept of access specifiers. Okay, I hope I understood it clearly. Yes. Sunil, at what time we'll have next class? Is there a next class for you? For B section also, I'm asking. No class. For D section, within the same package, protected use check कर लेगा sir. No need. Within the package, you no need to write it as protected. You can use default only. Default can, right? So then I will continue for I can extend for it up to 15 minutes. Yes. Okay, ma. Thank you. Okay. So this is what all about the concept of access modifiers. Okay. Next, we'll see the concept of right in classes. In classes, we'll have data members and methods. And methods. Have seen various type of data members, right? Like data members and static data members we have seen. Similarly, in a class, methods are there. Those methods can be a normal methods. We can call it as instance methods, or some kind of methods maybe as static methods. Static methods. Okay, now meaning that let us discuss now various types of methods. I mean, in the previous classes, I have already defined various types of methods, hierarchical classification. One is if a method is not returning anything, then we can call it as void methods. If a method is returning something, we can call it as a non-void method. Non-void method. This non-void can be a primitive data type, or it can be an object also. Can be an object also. That is what we have discussed. In one classification, we classify it like this. In another classification, we can classify it into instant methods and static methods. Instant methods and static methods, right? So, how we are going to access an instance variable? An instance variable we can able to access by creating an object of that class. Similarly, a static variable you can able to access with respect to class name of the class. Similarly, if you want to access a method you can able to access based on the type of method. One is if the method is static method, you can access that method with respect to class. If it is instance method, you can access that method with respect to an object. With respect to an object. Okay, here you will have some very hard question. Why we go for static methods, or when we go for static method? That is a big question, is rotating in your mind. I know. When we go for static method. So if I am able to solve this question, you can have you feel very happy, right? Yes. So if guys tell me the answers. If it is an instance data member, if it is an instance data member, and if it is a static data member, when we go for static data member, anybody answer? When we go for static data member, answer. For storing common values, very good. For storing common values, we can go for static data member. Yes, for common values, right? So if I clearly differentiate here, you can understand. For storing common values, we'll go for static data member. Because of this common, we can able to share. Because of this common, the memory will be created for only one time. This is for individual. This is non-shareable. This is memory will be created for each and every time. Okay, if you understood this one you can able to understand the static methods also. How we are going to declare static methods? These static data members we are going to create with respect to a prefix with a keyword static keyword. Static int a. Static int a. How we are going to define a method? Method you are going to define with respect to return type. Return type method name and followed by list of parameters or what some what you are going to write, meaning that this is a kind of method definition, method declaration, or method heading and method body. Okay now, fine. If a particular method is going to prefix with a keyword static, return type, method name. I hope you understood. If a method is prefixed with a keyword static, we can call it as static method. If it is not prefixed with a static keyword, we can say that is instance method. RT means return type, and MN means method name. Okay. The question is when we go for static methods. When we go for static data members, if it is common or if it is shareable, if it is shareable, then we go for static data member. Means whatever the method body that you are writing, if that method body is common to all the people of all the programmers, then we go for static method. We go for static method. If that method is not common means if that method is varying from programmer to programmer, then we can say that is an instant method. How we are going to access static methods? We can access the static method with respect to a class. With respect to a class name. How we are going to access instant method? We can able to access with respect to a object. See, for clear understanding, I will explain once again. Instance methods and static methods. Okay, what I said, the first one, if should not prefix with static keyword. Static keyword. Whereas coming to static method, it should static keyword must prefix for a method, and then you can write what. So these instant methods we can able to access with respect to an object, and these static methods we can able to access with respect to a class name. How we are going to access with respect to a dot operator, right? Dot operator, right? Mean object name dot instance method name. Coming to static method, class name dot static method name. Static method name. So is instant methods are shareable? No, not shareable. What about this one? These static methods are shareable. Okay, so because of accessing these methods with respect to an object, we can call it as object level methods. And these methods we can call it as class level methods. We can call it as class level methods. Okay, now so this is what all the difference between various kind of method, guys. I mean, if you want more clarity for static method, when we go for static method, if it is common for all, right? For example, so a static method, I can say that static method should not override. Should not override. Then I can go for static method. I mean, if a method is not trying to override, then we go and go for static methods. Avuna kada? Yes. But we can overload them. We can overload. I mean, for example, Amma, finding the area of a circle. Finding the area of a circle. Static. I am returning some float variable, pi r square, right? R square is some, pi is 3.14, so we'll get only float values, right? Static float, class name should start with capital letter, float area, right? And then the 3.14 into r into r. So here you're going to access input as r, right? Int r, or somewhat you can type cast, right? So is this formula is common to everybody or it will change? This is common to everybody. As it is common to everybody, I can make it as static. I can make it as static. So that is where we can go for static methods. Okay. See, here I will write one simple example so that you will rectify all the doubts. For example, I am writing class some CSC. I am writing int x equal to 5. Int x equal to 5. And let us assume that I am writing void. I mean, I am writing one static method. Static void a is a method. And I am performing increment operation x plus plus. Or to avoid confusion, I am writing only. Uh, don't think that print is a keyword which is in Java also. This is for print x. Print x. Can anybody answer what is the output of this one? Can anybody answer what is the output of this one? In static value are not changed. In instance value is changed. Yamuna. For common value for all objects. See here, x is not a static. So can we? What is the output? Can anybody try? Nothing. Sorry. Let us assume that I have accessed the A method. Okay. I'm trying to access A method. So I am trying to compile. I'm trying to compile. What is the output you will get? You will get compile time error. You have tried this all in C++. You will get compile time error. Why you will get compile time error? Because static methods won't access instance methods or instance variables directly. That you have to know. Any doubt in my sentence? No, Sunil, it is wrong. Okay, so to rectify your understandability, I will take one more example. One more example. Let me have another class called class. Mm, some One second. Let me take CSC. CSC. I am taking some method void display method. Void display method. Whenever we are calling this display method, I am calling once again display one method. Display one method, and I am trying to print. I'm trying to print display method. Display method. Next, I am writing one method with the prefix with the static keyword. Static void show at show. Then I'm trying to print here static show method. Understood carefully. Static void show. Then I'm writing once again void display one. Then I will write something like CSC dot show. Dot show. This is what the output is. Display one method. Then assume that I am writing one particular sentence: public static void main, and I'm writing string or guess or something. Don't worry, I have written like this. And then I am printing here main method. Main method. Then I am writing. mm, I can write like CSC k equal to new CSC k dot CS. Sorry, I'm writing. These are the various kind of ways I can write a program. K dot display. K dot display. Then I can write like show. I can write show. Then I can write see. So I will write like CSC dot slow. CSC dot మా ఇక్కడ సింటాక్స్ మర్చిపోండి. సింటాక్స్ మీన్స్ క్యాపిటల్ లెటర్స్ స్మాల్ లెటర్స్ మాత్రం కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వద్దండి. అన్ని సేమ్ అనుకోండి. CSC dot show. Yes. Then I am writing like this is end of main method. End of main method. Now here my question is, what is the output? Guys, have you observed anything over for the first example? Have you give any suggestion for the first example? Why it is providing common error, compile error? See, okay, fine. So I hope with these statements you can understood. Let me give 2 to 3 statements. While working with the concept of static keyword, you have to follow some principles. One is, if there exists a static method, I mean there is a one static method. This static method wants to call another static method within the class. Then it can call directly. If one static method wants to call another static method, then it can call directly. This is within the class. This is one rule. one instance method. See, before that, I will give some example here. See, let assume that main method is the first executable method. First executable method. Now, right? If I want to access this display method, can I access this with respect to object of CSC or not? CSC k equal to new CSC k dot display. Am I right or not? This display method I can access as it is a non-static method. I can access with respect to by creating an object k dot display. What is the output you will get? You will get. Sorry, you won't get right. Let me have rules only. Okay. See, similarly, one instant method wants to call another instance method directly. Instead of saying here wants, one static method can call another static method directly. One instant method can call another instant method directly. These are all within the class. Within the class. And there is one more rule. One instance method can call another static method. Another static method that can be either within the class or outside the class. It won't bother about it. If one instant method wants to call another static method that can be either within the class or outside the class, we must and should create what? Should create what? Can anybody fill these blanks with your common sense? What I am saying, there is a one instant method void k method is there. Void k method is there. This instant method can call another static method. There is one static method, static void j method is there. How this k method will call this j method? Can anybody answer? Can anybody answer? Because is not static. Fill that blank. My question is, can this k variable, k method can access this j or not? Yes. How it is going to access? This is going to access with respect to class name csc.j. Can it access or not? Yes. So machine should create we machine should we machine should call sorry we machine should call with respect to class name. Are you understood or not? By creating a new object, Amma. No. See, this is a non-static method. Non-static method wants to call a static method. Okay, na? Static method మీరు ఎలా కాల్ చేస్తారు జనరల్ గా? That same process, right? So if you want to call a static method, you must and should call with respect to a class name. That's it. If this is an instance method, if it wants to call a static method, how we are going to call static method with respect to class name? That is what I have written. If one instant method wants to call another static method, how we are going to call static method with respect to class name? Similarly, one static method can call another instant method. This instant method can be within the class or outside the class. Don't bother about it. We have to call with respect to what? Can you fill? Yes, ma, very good. It is we have to call with respect to an object. Ante kadamma. See, now the question is void k static void j. If I want to call this non-static method, how we are going to call this non-static method? You have to create with respect to an object. డోంట్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ ఇక్కడ చూడండి, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ రైట్. సో ఇన్స్టాంట్ మెథడ్ మీరు కాల్ చేయాలి కంపల్సరీగా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ చేయాలి, స్టాటిక్ మెథడ్ కాల్ చేయాలి కంపల్సరీగా క్లాస్ నేమ్ ద్వారా చేయాలి. అవే లాస్ట్ 2 పాయింట్స్. స్టాటిక్ మెథడ్ ని కాల్ చేయాలంటే క్లాస్ నేమ్ తో యాక్సెస్ చేయడము, ఇన్స్టాంట్ మెథడ్ కాల్ చేయాలంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ద్వారా కాల్ చేయడం. అండ్ వాట్ ఆర్ దీస్ 2 పాయింట్స్? దీస్ 2 ఆర్ సింపుల్. ఒక స్టాటిక్ మెథడ్ ని ఇంకో స్టాటిక్ మెథడ్ ఇన్సైడ్ ద క్లాస్ లో కాల్ చేస్తుంటే జనరల్ గా డైరెక్ట్ గా కాల్ చేయొచ్చు, లేదా we can call with respect to a class name. Why? Because this method is a static method. Similarly, an instant method can call another instant method directly. ఎందుకంటే ఇవి రెండు కూడా సేమ్ క్లాస్ లోనే ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి డైరెక్ట్ కాల్ చేయొచ్చు, లేదా we can call with respect to an object name. Guys, I hope up to here. Okay na? Yes. Yes. Now, can you answer all this? Yes. We are going to execute from main method. So main method is execute చేస్తున్నప్పుడు we have created an object for CSCC. Means దీనికి ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసాము. Yes. Now, can object create చేసాము. Can we access this display method or not? Yes. Because it is a non-static method. This non-static method I need to call with respect to an object. Why? Because it is a static method. It is a static method. Or is there any other way? No other way. We have to call with respect to an object. So k dot display call lesson. So my cursor will comes to here. Now it is calling what? Display one method. Display one method. Now tell me, is this rule is correct or not? Is this rule is correct or not? Display method display one ni call చేస్తుంది. Is it the way I have written is correct or not? Tell me. ఏం చేస్తున్నారు? నేను రాసినది కరెక్టా తప్ప? Correct. Yes, very good. Why? Because this is a void method. I mean, this is a non-static method. This method can call another non-static method. Another non-static method directly. Yes. So I will move to this one. I will move to this location. Now it is calling what? Show method. It is calling show method. Show method is what? A static method. A non-static method wants to call a static method. Then what you have to apply? A class name. Yes, it is also correct. It is also correct. Yes. CSC dot so. So it will move to this location. Now then what is the output it is going to print? It is going to print static show method. Show method. Then cursor will comes to here. Then it will move to, it will execute display one method. Execute display one method. Guys, అన్నిటికన్నా ముందు ఏముందాం ఇక్కడ? మెయిన్ మెథడ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. మెయిన్ మెథడ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. నౌ ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిపోయింది. ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ మళ్ళీ కర్సర్ ఎక్కడికి వెళ్తుంది? ఇక్కడికి వస్తుంది. తర్వాత ఏమవుతుంది? డిస్ప్లే మెథడ్ రికర్షన్ display method. Now, so this is also completed. Now cursor will comes to where? Again once again comes to here. Cursor comes to here. Next it is going to execute show method. It's going to execute show method. This is also executing show method. But which one is correct? Can anybody answer? This is, let us assume that this is 1 and this is 2. Which one is correct? 1 2 correct, or 1 2 false, or 1 is correct, 2 is wrong, 1 is wrong and 2 is correct. Somebody have replied. 2 is correct. What about 1? 2 is correct means both correct, na? No, second one is correct, right? What about section A? 2 correct. No, both are correct. Both are correct. Show method is correct. This one is correct. Why? Show method is what? Show method is a static method, and the method which is calling main method is what? static method. Static method can call a static method within the class directly. So it can print static show method. Don't get confused, Amma. This show is a static method. This method can call another static method directly. What about this one? Yes, I can call another way with respect to a class name. There is no error. So here also you'll get once again static show method. Static show method. Then it is going to execute end of main. End of main. Yes. Hope I understood it clearly. Fine. Yes, Chandra, 1 and 2 are correct. Yes. Now tell me, what is the reason for getting an error in the A example? Getting an error in the A example because this is a static method. This is a static method. Static method cannot access instant methods or instance variables directly. Avuna kada? Directly access చేయలేం. So we have to call it with respect to an object of this one. How we are going to create an object? So it won't provide another. So to overcome this rectification, CSC some L equal to new CSC, then you have to write L dot x. L dot x. లేదు ఇప్పుడు నేను డైరెక్ట్ రాయాలి. Like for example, static int m. Static int m. If I write like print m, can anybody answer what is the output of this one? Is it again a compile time error or it will print the value directly? M value entam. What is the value of m? Yes, Shravani, very good. Need object creation. Static method can't access instant variable directly. Very good. What's the value of m? Is it with respect to m? It is a compile time error or it will produce an output, some value. Error. Why ma? Somebody have given. Sri Lakshmi. It's not error ma. Why? Because static is a static data member can access static method directly. So no error here. Don't get confused. Within the class, I can directly access. There is no error. Okay, this is what all about the instant method and static methods and how to access a static method inside the class, outside the class, as well as instant method outside the class and inside the class. Okay, now if you have any doubts, you can ask right now, or else